Today marks the 50th anniversary of the death of Dr. J.B Danquah, a member of the Big Six. On the floor of Parliament today, members paid glowing tribute to the man they described as the Doyen of Ghanaian Politics. As part of activities to mark the anniversary, the Okyeman Traditional Council has scheduled March 7 for exhumation and reburial of the remains of Dr. J.B Danquah at Kyebi in the eastern region.
Joseph Kwame Chirechi Danquah, popularly known as Dr. J.B Danquah, is one of the stalwarts in Ghanaian politics who contributed to the struggle for independence. Dr. J.B Danquah was born a royal from Achim in 1895. He was the first continental African to receive a doctorate degree in law from the University of London. Dr. J.B Danquah became a member of the Legislative Council in 1946 and actively pursued independence legislation for Ghana. He was a founding member of the pro-independence United Gold Coast Convention, UGCC. Dr. J.B Danquah was arrested briefly after riots in 1948 together with Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. In 1960, he decided to run for president. However, Dr. J.B Danquah received only 10% of the votes. He was imprisoned in 1961 under the Preventive Detention Act and released in 1962. He later died at the Nsawan prison when he was re-imprisoned in 1964. On the floor of Parliament, members on both sides of the House made submissions on his legacies.
After independence, this nation is still going on and keeping on. And we still have hope that this nation will endure. And it's because of people like Dr. J.B Danquah. He is a hero in the sight of all people in Ghana. He should be emulated. I know that people will say there's a certain element of controversy. As I said before, I do not belong to his political dispensation. But I also believe that people like him have created the meteor, which we now say that we are Ghanaians. This was a man who bore no ill will, even against those who put him in situations that made his life unbearable. And that is the lesson that we ought to learn, to be forgiving of one another.
The committee put together by the Okyeman and the family of Dr. J.B Danquah wanted this house and prominent members of the New Patriotic Party to visit the Nsawan prisons to see where the man died. And it would be a very solemn moment for us to reflect on the price he paid in helping us secure our present freedom.
The advice that came was that Nsawan is a security zone. It's a security zone. Number two, because of the numbers, they were going to find it difficult to control, because if you talk about the family, prominent members of the party, and then members of parliament, and they were concerned about that. And then also they were concerned about the politicization of the prisons, because it would also not promote discipline in the place.
The MP for Tamale South, Haruna Drisu, and the grandson of Dr. J.B Danquah, Mr. J.B Danquah, MP for Abuakwa North, shared some lessons to be learned from his death.
The greatest legacy I could always memory is the fact that Danquah gave us one thing, our ancient freedom, that never again should any government or institution or organization trample on the individual rights of the Ghanaian. So today, even little children whose rights have been abused at bourgeoisie, all of us are complaining about it. These are some of the legacies that Danquah gave us, that the individual right is superior to that of the state or any institution.
Okyeman Traditional Council says Dr. J.B Danquah was not given a befitting burial given his royal status. Hence the decision to celebrate the 50th anniversary of his death with a reburial and funeral ceremony on the 7th of March at Kyebi. Meanwhile, the family of the late Dr. Bernard Glover has paid a courtesy call on the Speaker of Parliament, Edward Duajahu, to officially inform and invite Parliament to the funeral of the deceased. The leader of the delegation, Oscar Ameyedo, said Dr. Glover died 2 months ago after a short illness and will be buried on the 7th of February. Dr. Glover was the Chief Executive Officer of Villa Cisneros at Sugakope. He was also a former member of the Council of State and a founding member of the National Democratic